Hi, thanks for stopping by today. I just wanted to share with you a couple layouts that I've done from Disneyland. A few weeks ago, my sister asked me to go with them to Disneyland with her, Harry, and the kids. And I had the pass for the day. Harry had gotten it for me at UCLA. And then I spent the day there, and I think we were there probably 10 or maybe 10, 11 hours or something. It was a long day, and I thought, oh, this was wonderful and everything, but I don't think I can keep doing this. Like they do it almost every weekend or every other weekend. But Susan talked me into getting a pass, so now I did buy the pass for the whole year. And so I've been two more times. So every weekend I've been to Disneyland, and now I have about 1,100 pictures. So this leads me to my layout. I was thinking about all the pictures I had, and I had seen a post over on Two Peas in a Bucket, and it had to do with the old-fashioned Viewmasters, and that they're sort of back in style. And I do have some papers and that sort of thing with the Viewmaster theme. And I just thought that would be a cute little page to do, although it doesn't detail the photos so much by putting them in the little slide holders. It just gets a lot of pictures onto a page, and I can feature some of those pictures in other layouts. So I saw one of the samples they had was this wonderful layout from Nancy Damiano, and she's one of my favorite scrapbookers. And she did something similar to this one I'm showing you here. Hers had all the lettering around it like I have here. These are all, let me get closer here. These are all little stickers that have been stuck on all the way around this Viewmaster. These are from Lily Bee Designs. They're ABC stickers. So that was a little tedious getting that and getting it really to fit. As you can see, it goes perfectly all the way around. I had to get all the words I could think of to describe what's in the pictures and also get it to fit in that circle. So that was a great idea from Nancy, and she also used that paper that I have in the background. That Studio Calico's Plano is the name from their Classic Calico collection. And it's a great grid pattern you can see in the background that radiates out, but it makes that perfect circle around to make it so easy to put those letters on. So Nancy gave me that great idea by looking at her layout of doing this sort of thing. But I took it a little different direction than hers, and I used a different type of a Viewmaster, Viewmaster circle here. And what I did, if you can see, it's actually a paper that I use that has a glossy finish to it, and it's an old-fashioned record. So I wanted to sort of mix the two, and then I put the title. Well, So Very Lucky in the center there was part of the paper, and then I added For the Record. And then in the center here you can see this little die cut. It's actually a chipboard die cut. It says You Spin Me Round, and I just added that to the center with a little brad. So what I had to do, this paper came as one big black sheet with all the circles around the shape of a record. But I had to use my Cameo and set up a file that I had already had. I'd actually been planning to do this type of a layout with a Viewmaster, and I'd already cut some out in different sizes, but I never had gotten around to using them. And when I had seen that post, that's what got me doing this. So anyway, I just did this cut with the Cameo. But it was a little difficult trying to get it to center, and I did about 3 different sample cuts in different papers just to see first if I wanted to do it in a craft type paper or cream color paper, or if I really wanted to do the record. And then once I had those, I was able to really center it and get this to cut out. And so I think it turned out really great. And then I printed all the little pictures you see here. I'll go slow around here. I printed all these little pictures out to fit in, and I printed them on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on my printer, and then I cut them all out. So, and then actually the words here correspond with as much as I could with the pictures. So I'll just go here. We've got the roller coasters, and then just have pictures, lots of pictures being taken, and togetherness. You see Simon and Caleb there. And then cotton candy. Grace loves her cotton candy. And then laughter. And what I wanted to point out here, it's pretty obvious, but I've got the pictures going in the one direction, face up halfway through, but then I flip them. A regular Viewmaster would have the pictures flipped the other way, and they'd actually be upside down. But I wanted them to be more visible when you're looking at the layout, not complicated where you have to turn your head upside down to see the picture. So I turned the pictures around, but I kept the words going the way they would go if they were circling around a circle in a layout. So then, because I think the words aren't quite as important, they're a little bit more of a decorative feature. I think it's the pictures that's more important to see face up. So then we have laughter here. And this one is Susan and Faith, and that was actually taken in front of the tiki room. So that's what I used for the title there. And this is a pin, the Disneyland Resort pin. I got that while I was at Adventureland. And they have wonderful pins at Disneyland, and I think I'm going to start to collect some from the trips that I do take there. So that's my first pin, and that's a picture I took of it. And then I just have family time. This first picture here with all the kids, actually, this picture is the first one that I took coming into Disneyland the first day that I went. And then we've got parades. There's a Mickey parade, or Mickey Mouse in a parade that we saw. And this was us on one of the rides. It's actually taking a real canoe out on the water and paddling along, and even Faith had her paddle in the water. And Grace was moving right along, and of course the boys were doing great. So that was real fun. And these are the boys' silly hats that they got at Disneyland. Actually, Caleb came with the one, it's a Mickey Mouse ears. I don't know who the character is, but that's one of his silly hats he wore. And then you've got a chipmunk there that Simon's wearing. I don't know how he wears that hat during the hot days because it's a hot furry hat, but he wears it all day. And then here we've got Grace in her 3D glasses, so then I've got the 3D adventure there. And then they're all eating ice cream. And then this was something else I picked up in one of the Disneyland stores. It's a little magnet. It's all made out of rubber. And I just thought that was great with all the characters. So that pretty much sums up my first page, although I wanted to point out for those of you who like scrapbooking, these enamel dots are just wonderful. They're fun to play with, and they were perfect to separate each of the words on here. So then over to this page, let me zoom out for a second. Again, this is inspired by Nancy Damiano. It doesn't look exactly at all like hers, except for the bottom strip here. I had seen this layout she did for Disney when she had taken a trip there with these little Viewmaster little slides here. This is a paper, and they're all over the paper. It's by Echo Park, and this is just one strip off of the paper, and it's cut across, and then it's just layered underneath this colored sheet of paper. That's from the new collection At the Pier by Crate Paper. And these Viewmaster ones are older paper. But Nancy had done this with different papers, but she did use this same Viewmaster paper, and she also did something similar with this Mickey. She actually had something where it said "It's a good day," and that was a sticker that you could get from Echo Park, and I did have that sticker, but I decided to do it a little bit different, but I loved her idea with sticking the little ears on. So I cut this out with my Silhouette, or my Silhouette Cameo, and then you can see, and I cut out Good Times there, and then I put little pieces of pattern paper in behind. This was actually one of those border strips that come off the bottom of pattern paper. It was from the Margarita collection from American Crafts, and I just loved all the bright colors in it, and I saved that little strip. So it was perfect to cut them out and fill them in to these little slots. So again, that's a great Nancy Damiano idea, and I just took it a little bit differently and used some different papers there, like I said, at the bottom. And I just put that in living color down here, because I remember when I was a kid, you'd watch TV and it was in living color, they'd always say. So, and then the film strip is a Tim Holtz little film strip. And then at the top, Mine is completely different from Nancy. She does a wonderful thing where she takes some big pictures, and she had it for Hollywood Studios on her layout. But I went in a different direction, and I just put these old-fashioned looking slide frames on. And then I stamped the date on each one. So these are actually new frames from Crate Paper that came in their Pier collection. So this is a picture of me just this past weekend, and we were in Toontown, and I love this little popcorn vending machine, not machine, but a little vendor with the popcorn. And so Susan took a picture of me in front of it. And then this one is a picture of Grace and I just on one of the rides. And then there's all of us meeting Goofy and Pluto. And you can see the different dates on there. You've got May the 19th and May the 24th. This was my first trip there, which was May the 12th. And that's Grace and I in the front there in front of the castle. And then this was just this past weekend, the 24th. The kids are actually sitting in Toontown. They're sitting on one of the little fire trucks. And it's a great picture, and I'll use it for something else bigger so that you're able to see it better. But it just fills in the space here with all the kids. And then my title work is just some chipboard from the 24/7 collection, that click. And then some American Crafts captured. And then I've got some glittery, puffy like letters here. And some more chipboard. And down here. So there's a lot of dimension to this. You see, I've raised things up on the pop dots to sit on top of each other. I wanted it to be more of like a casual display up top of the slides. So that's my most recent layouts, and I have more to share, but for today, this is what I've got. So thanks for stopping by.